Signs God is preparing you for a special connection. My beloved child, there are moments in life when silence becomes louder than noise, when nothing seems to be happening yet everything is quietly rearranging itself around you. This is one of those moments. You may feel restless, unusually reflective, or strangely detached from what once excited you, and that is not a coincidence. This is not about losing people or missing opportunities. This is about being gently pulled away from distractions so your inner world can be refined. Right now, life is slowing you down not to punish you, but to prepare you. Pay attention to the patterns repeating in your days, the thoughts that keep returning at night, the sudden urge to protect your energy. These are not random feelings. They are signs that something deeper is aligning within you. Don't skip this moment, because clarity rarely arrives with noise. It arrives quietly, when you're finally listening. You might notice that connections around you are changing. Some people feel distant without explanation, others fade away without conflict. And a few may appear briefly, only to leave again. This can feel confusing, even lonely, but this phase is not about abandonment, it's about refinement. You are being taught discernment. You are learning the difference between attachment and alignment. When a special connection is being prepared, space must be created for it. Old emotional habits are being challenged. You're being pushed to heal reactions you once ignored, to confront patterns you once repeated unconsciously. This inner work is essential. Because the connection meant for you won't survive confusion, insecurity, or unresolved pain. That it requires presence. It requires stability, and right now, you are being shaped into someone who can hold that kind of depth without fear. Stay till the end of this process, even when it feels uncomfortable. There is also a subtle shift happening inside your heart. You may feel more selective, more aware, less willing to settle for surface-level bonds. Small talk drains you. Forced connections exhaust you. You crave meaning without fully knowing why. This is a powerful signal. It means your emotional frequency is changing. You are being tuned to recognize something rare. And when that moment arrives, when that connection finally steps into your life, it won't feel chaotic or overwhelming. It will feel familiar, calm, grounded. Like recognition, not pursuit. Something huge is waiting for you on the other side of this preparation, but only if you honor this phase instead of rushing through it. What's coming isn't just a connection with another person. It's a connection that meets you at the level you're becoming. There comes a phase when life stops responding the way it used to, and instead of answers, you receive pauses. Not delays, pauses. Conversations feel unfinished. Opportunities almost happen, then don't. You sense something approaching, yet nothing fully arrives. This is the moment most people misinterpret and walk away too early. But this pause is intentional. You are being taught patience at a level deeper than comfort. Right now, your intuition is being sharpened. You're learning to sit with uncertainty without forcing outcomes. That's because the connection being prepared for you cannot be rushed, chased, or logically planned. It requires emotional maturity you didn't have before, and notice this carefully. Your reactions are changing. Things that once triggered you now make you quiet. Situations that once made you desperate now make you reflective. This isn't numbness, this is control. Don't skip this understanding, because once you see it, you'll realize you're no longer operating from fear. You're operating from awareness. You may also feel an unusual pull towards solitude, not isolation, but intentional distance. You enjoy your own presence more. You think deeper thoughts. You question your past choices without shame. This is a powerful sign. It means you are no longer looking for someone to complete you, but someone to walk with you. That shift alone changes everything. A special connection cannot enter a life that is chaotic, emotionally dependent, or externally validated. It enters when you're steady. When your self-worth no longer rises or falls based on attention. That's why distractions are falling away now. That's why superficial bonds feel empty. You are being protected from settling. And yes, this phase can feel slow, even frustrating, but stay till the end of it. Because once this alignment completes, what enters your life won't confuse you, test you endlessly, or make you question your value. It will recognize you instantly. If this resonates deeply, take a moment to support this message, share it with someone who needs clarity right now, subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next, and leave a comment with what you're feeling. This journey isn't meant to be walked unconsciously. Here's the part most people don't expect. The delay you're experiencing is not about timing, it's about capacity. You are expanding emotionally, mentally, and spiritually to hold something meaningful without losing yourself. That's why you're being asked to slow down, to observe, to refine your standards. This connection will not arrive loudly. It won't come with chaos or emotional highs and lows. It will arrive calmly, almost quietly, and that's how you'll know it's real. No confusion. No anxiety. Just alignment. Something huge is waiting for you, but only if you stop mistaking preparation for absence. You're not being ignored. You're being readied. And once this phase locks into place, nothing that's meant for you will miss you, because you will finally be ready to receive it. There is a quiet test happening in your life right now, and most people never realize when they're inside it. It's the test of restraint. You're being shown situations where you could react, could explain yourself, could chase clarity, but you don't. Something inside you chooses stillness instead. This is not weakness. This is mastery forming. When a special connection is being prepared, your emotional impulses are refined first. You're learning when to speak and when to stay silent, when to move and when to wait. Notice how your patience has deepened. Notice how you no longer feel the urge to prove your worth. That shift didn't come from motivation or advice, it came from growth. And this growth is essential, because the connection meant for you won't be built on over-explaining, over-giving, or overthinking. It will be built on mutual understanding. Don't skip this realization, because once you see it, you'll understand why everything had to slow down before speeding up. You may also be experiencing moments of deep clarity followed by moments of doubt. One day you feel completely aligned, confident, and calm. The next, you question everything. This fluctuation is not instability, it's integration. Old versions of you are dissolving while the new version is still settling in. That's why it feels uncomfortable. You're between identities. And in this space, life is teaching you discernment. You're learning to listen to your intuition without letting fear hijack it. You're learning the difference between excitement and peace. between intensity and depth. This matters more than you realize. Because the connection being prepared for you will not overwhelm you emotionally. It will ground you. It won't trigger old wounds, it will highlight healed ones. Stay till the end of this understanding, because once this lesson completes, you will never confuse chaos for chemistry again. Here is the subtle sign most people overlook: you're no longer asking when it will happen, you're asking who you are becoming. That shift is everything. It means you've stopped waiting for someone to arrive and started aligning yourself with what you deserve. This is the point where preparation becomes inevitable fulfillment. When the connection comes, it won't feel like luck. It will feel earned. Familiar. Almost as if it was always moving toward you at the same pace you were moving toward it. Something huge is waiting for you on the other side of this alignment, but only if you honor this phase instead of rushing past it. You are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be for what's meant to meet you fully, clearly, and without confusion. There is a final preparation that happens right before everything changes, and it's subtle enough that most people miss it. You start feeling emotionally calm even without answers. Not excited. Not anxious. Just steady. That calm is not emptiness, it's readiness. You've stopped chasing signs because you've become one. Your presence is stronger. Your energy is quieter but deeper. You don't rush connections anymore, you observe them. And this is crucial, because the connection being prepared for you will respond to who you are, not who you pretend to be. Right now, your life is teaching you trust without control, but you're learning that what's aligned doesn't need force. Don't skip this moment, because this calm state is the doorway. Once you cross it, what enters your life will feel natural, not dramatic, powerful, not overwhelming. You may notice that your standards have risen silently, you don't announce them. You don't argue about them, you simply walk away from what doesn't match your inner clarity. This is one of the strongest signs of preparation. When a special connection is near, tolerance for misalignment disappears. You no longer negotiate with your intuition. And here's the surprising truth: this phase often feels like nothing is happening, when in reality, everything is locking into place. Timing, circumstances, emotional readiness, all syncing quietly. Stay till the end of this understanding, because once this alignment completes, you won't have to convince, chase, or question. Recognition will be mutual. Effort will be balanced. If this message is hitting deeper than expected, share it with someone who needs reassurance right now, subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next, and leave a comment about what you're noticing in your own life. Sometimes clarity arrives through reflection. And now, the final revelation most people aren't prepared for: the connection meant for you doesn't arrive to change you, it arrives to meet you. That's why preparation had to happen first. You weren't being delayed. You were being elevated. When it shows up, it will feel like relief, not confusion. Like recognition, not uncertainty. Something huge is waiting for you, not because you're special by chance, but because you did the inner work most people avoid. And when this chapter begins, you'll understand why it couldn't have happened any sooner, and why it couldn't have happened with anyone else. What happens next is the moment everything clicks into place, but not in the way movies or stories promise. There is no dramatic sign, no loud confirmation, no sudden rush of emotion. Instead, there is certainty. A quiet knowing that settles into your chest and refuses to leave. You stop second-guessing your instincts. You stop asking for reassurance. You don't need to decode signals anymore because clarity replaces confusion. This is the stage where you realize the preparation wasn't about attracting someone, it was about becoming unshakable. You now recognize alignment the moment it appears because your inner world is no longer chaotic. And here's the key detail most people miss: when you are truly ready, you no longer feel desperate for arrival. You feel complete before anything begins. That's how you know this isn't illusion. This isn't imagination. This is readiness. You may start noticing a shift in how life responds to you. Conversations flow differently. People either step closer with honesty or fade without drama. Your time feels more valuable. Your energy feels protected. And suddenly, you are no longer afraid of losing the wrong things. This is power. Because the connection being prepared for you does not survive uncertainty, it thrives in clarity. It meets you where you stand, not where you beg. And when it appears, it won't demand that you abandon yourself. It won't ask you to shrink, rush, or prove anything. It will feel steady, grounded, and unmistakably real. This is why you had to become selective. This is why distractions were removed. This is why shortcuts were denied. Not to test you, but to align you with something that won't collapse under pressure. And now, understand this final truth deeply: once you reach this stage, nothing meant for you can bypass you. Not timing. Not circumstances. Not distance. What's aligned will find you because you are no longer hiding behind old versions of yourself. You are visible to what's meant to recognize you. That's why the waiting ends here, not because something suddenly appears, but because you are no longer waiting from lack. You are standing in readiness. And when this connection enters your life, it will not feel like a beginning born from longing. It will feel like a continuation of the strength you already built. This is the moment preparation turns into fulfillment. And once it happens, you'll understand why everything before this had to unfold exactly the way it did. There is one final shift that confirms everything you've been moving toward, and it happens internally before anything changes externally. You stop imagining how it will happen. You stop replaying scenarios. The future no longer feels heavy or urgent. Instead, there's a grounded confidence that whatever is meant to align with you already knows where to find you. This is not passivity. This is trust earned through growth. You didn't arrive here by hoping, you arrived by becoming. And in this state, you are no longer impressed by intensity alone. You value consistency, presence, emotional safety. That preference didn't come from theory, it came from experience. Don't skip this awareness, because this is the exact mindset required to recognize something real when it finally stands in front of you. You may notice that your reactions to uncertainty are completely different now. Where you once felt anxiety, you feel curiosity. Where you once felt fear, you feel acceptance. This is emotional stability locking into place. And it matters more than anything else. Because the connection prepared for you will not pull you into emotional extremes. It will meet you in balance. There will be no guessing games, no hidden motives, no push and pull. Just clarity unfolding naturally. This is why the past had to fall apart the way it did. It wasn't loss, it was contrast. It taught you what alignment is not, so you could recognize what alignment is. Stay till the end of this realization, because once this lesson completes, you will never again confuse effort with connection. And now, the truth that brings everything together: when preparation is complete, your life doesn't feel empty, it feels open. Open to receive without attachment. Open to connect without fear. Open to grow without losing yourself. This is where fulfillment begins. Not at arrival, but at readiness. Something huge is waiting for you, but it will meet you only at the level you've reached, not the level you once hoped from. And when that moment comes, it won't shock you. It will feel natural. Earned. Inevitable. Because you didn't just wait for the connection, you became someone who could hold it, honor it, and grow with it without losing who you are. Now comes the moment where understanding turns into embodiment. You are no longer learning these lessons, you are living them without effort. You wake up with a quiet sense of direction, even if the details are still unclear. Your choices feel cleaner. Your boundaries feel natural. You don't rehearse conversations in your head the way you used to. You don't prepare for rejection or chase reassurance. This is not because you stopped caring, it's because you stopped doubting yourself. And that shift changes everything. When a special connection is truly near, your inner dialogue becomes calmer, not louder. You trust your timing without forcing it. You move through your days with a steady presence that doesn't need validation. Don't skip this awareness, because this is the exact frequency where alignment recognizes alignment. You might notice that your life feels simpler now, even if it isn't easier. You choose depth over drama. Truth over comfort. Stillness over noise. And because of that, fewer things excite you, but the right things matter more. This is a powerful sign. It means your emotional appetite has matured. You're no longer drawn to potential alone, you're drawn to consistency, clarity, and shared values. This is why nothing random can stay in your life anymore. It either aligns or it exits. And when the connection meant for you finally enters, it won't compete with your peace, it will add to it. There will be no confusion masked as excitement. No anxiety mistaken for attraction. Just a steady unfolding that feels honest and real. Stay till the end of this understanding, because once you recognize this pattern, you'll never settle for less again. Here is the final thing to hold on to: what is meant to meet you doesn't need you to be louder, faster, or different. It needs you to be exactly as you are right now. This version of you, the one who can wait without feeling empty, who can connect without losing themselves, who can trust without control, is the version everything was preparing. And when the moment arrives, it won't feel like fate chasing you down. It will feel like alignment catching up. Something huge is waiting for you, not ahead of you, but at the level you've already reached. And once it finds you, you'll understand that this entire journey wasn't about becoming worthy of a connection. It was about becoming ready to recognize it when it finally stood in front of you. At this stage, the most important change is almost invisible to everyone else, but unmistakable to you. You are no longer searching for meaning in outcomes. You find it in alignment. You're okay not knowing the full picture, because you trust the direction you're moving in. This inner certainty didn't appear overnight. It was built through silence, through letting go, through choosing growth when it would have been easier to settle. And this is the point where many people accidentally sabotage themselves, by rushing, by doubting, by reaching back for what feels familiar. Don't skip this moment. Familiar does not mean aligned. Comfort does not mean right. What's being prepared for you requires this final layer of discernment. You may feel an unusual sense of emotional independence now. You enjoy connection, but you don't cling to it. You appreciate attention, but you don't rely on it. This balance is rare and powerful. It means you're finally able to meet someone without expectations built from fear or lack. And that's exactly why the connection being prepared for you will feel effortless. No performances. No emotional guessing. Just two people meeting in clarity. This is why your past patterns couldn't come with you. This is why shortcuts were removed. Because anything built on emotional urgency would eventually collapse. What's coming is meant to last. Stay till the end of this understanding, because once you internalize it, you'll see why everything had to unfold in this order. Here is the closing truth of this phase: the universe doesn't rush what's aligned, it times it perfectly. And right now, you are standing at the edge of readiness without needing proof. You're not waiting anymore, you're allowing. Something huge is waiting for you, not as a reward, but as a reflection of who you've become. And when it arrives, it won't feel like something new invading your life. It will feel like something that finally fits. Like a missing piece that only makes sense now, because you've grown into the shape that could hold it.